We're going to turn our attention to the print media as well with our press review. Flo is here for that. Hi there, Flo. Okay. We're not looking at The Economist or the Financial Times, though. We're going to start off in the UK with The Independent. People sort of wringing their hands a little bit after the news that came out of Athens yesterday about this supposed bailout deal that's been agreed. You'd think we'd all be experts on it by now, but people still saying, what does it all mean?
What does it all mean, and should we have hope? That's a big question today. Is it time to declare the Greek debt saga over? That's the question that The Independent asks. The temptation is there. It would be nice to think that the nightmare is over, according to The Independent and its editorial. You can see here, they want to believe in it. Fingers crossed. The problem is, though, according to The Independent, this bailout, the third since 2009, probably won't stick for several reasons. First of all, according to The Independent, without debt relief, the bailout's impact could be limited, but debt relief is very tricky because it would set a precedent in Europe, and other countries could want to benefit from that.
It's sort of being seen as free money by some people.
Exactly, a writing off of everything. The Independent says that another key problem, though, is the political will of the Greek government to implement these reforms. According to The Independent, that political will is quite doubtful.
Well, what about the press inside Greece itself?
Well, I pulled out a cartoon from the center-right paper Ekatimerini. Now, it must be said, the center-right paper is not a big fan of the Prime Minister, Alexis Tsipras. You can see here, it's very small, I'll describe it to you. You can see the Prime Minister fishing, and this other guy is looking over his shoulder and says, "Are you catching anything?" "No, I'm not catching anything." "Well, what are you using as bait?" "I'm not using anything, it's bait." And so the other guy says, "Well, what are you doing here?" "Well, I'm trying my best." So Ekatimerini seems to be suggesting here that the Greek government isn't getting anything because it's not giving anything. It must be said, though, a lot of pessimism, I guess you could say, in a lot of papers today. I think this title in Slate sums things up quite well. This deal sounds like it's destined to fail. Slate says that those who are sick and tired of hearing about the Grexit, well, they're not off the hook quite yet.
Poor Alexis Tsipras looks ever so tired, doesn't he, there? He's probably not slept at all in the last few months. Someone else who's probably getting a bit more sleep is the former Greek finance minister, Yanis Varoufakis. He gave up his job a couple of weeks ago. He's back in the press today, and it's linked to Wikileaks. What's this all about?
This is a very interesting story. Let's take a look at Wikileaks. You can see they're talking about this 100,000 euro reward. Well, what is this reward for? It's basically to encourage people to leak the documents surrounding a major EU-US trade deal. This is the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnerships. Quite a mouthful there.
The TTIP. Let's call it TTIP.
Exactly. According to Wikileaks, this is Europe's most wanted secret, and Wikileaks has launched a campaign to crowdsource this reward for whoever's going to leak information, leak the text of this deal. And Yanis Varoufakis, well, he's dished out some money to participate in this reward, and he's not the only one. You can read about it here in the Telegraph. Others include the UK fashion designer Vivienne Westwood and the Wikileaks founder. This is, I guess, more normal, Julian Assange. Julian Assange says the secrecy of the TTIP is really casts a shadow on the future of European democracy, so it's time for the secrecy to end.
All right, let's move away from these financial matters. We're going to look to Japan. The country's getting ready to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the end of World War II.
That's right. All eyes are on the Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe. He's set to deliver a statement, or release a statement on Friday, so that's a day before the official date of the Japanese surrender, which is on August 15th. Now, he's been criticized by some, especially in China and South Korea, for watering down Japan's past and trying to expand the role of Japan's military. This is an interesting piece by Yuriko Koike. She's a former defense minister for Shinzo Abe. She calls on him to apologize. She says it's necessary to give a formal apology to be able to move forward. Interestingly, though, one of Shinzo Abe's critics is actually the Emperor of Japan. You can read about that in the Washington Post. Now, he's a man of very few words. He usually doesn't get involved in Japanese politics. This is the Emperor Akihito. He's started slightly, well, very subtly voicing his displeasure.
Very interesting indeed, and that anniversary, like you said, coming up on Saturday. Thanks for now. Flo Valmino looking through the international papers there for us.